good afternoon. Welcome to my channel, Warrior65. It is March 30th, 2025. I haven't made a video in quite a while, so I thought I'd come on the camera here and make a video for today. It's Sunday afternoon, and I'm doing well. Been very busy, you know, with work and things around the house here. Just to let you know, I've been up to Maine twice over the winter. Didn't stay over any overnights, so I went up there twice just to check on the cabin to see if everything's okay. And they've had quite a bit of snow up there, a lot. So I think I went about a month ago with my brother-in-law, and before that I went prior back in, I want to say January sometime, about that. But I only didn't spend any overnights up there. But I didn't record any content up there because there really wasn't anything to record. I didn't do anything. I mean, all I basically did was change the batteries in the cell cam and take a look at the cabin around the area to see if everything's okay, and everything's fine up there. But and another thing, my brother-in-law doesn't really like to be recorded, and I think he feels a little funny about it. I don't know if he wants to see himself on YouTube or anything like that. But, well, anyways, I kind of have to respect his wishes on that, so I didn't record anything. But, so I plan to go back up there maybe in about a month or so, maybe sooner, within the next 2 to 4 weeks. Depending on what the weather is up there. I might spend an overnight up there. We'll see. We'll have to see where things go and how the snow situation is up there. There's quite a bit of snow still up there. It was about a little over 2 feet up there last time I went up there. And there's maybe 1.5 feet now, maybe a little less. They had a couple of small little mini snowstorms up there, but it was really nothing, 4 or 5 inches. So their spring is, you know, coming pretty quickly everywhere. And of course here in Massachusetts, there's no snow at all. It's completely gone. So hopefully we won't be getting any more, but you never know. So that's what's kind of going on my end here. You know, that's why you haven't seen me up there. I haven't gone up there at all, you know, but I had no reason to go up there. You know, it was just a lot of snow up there, and I would have nothing to record. So, but anyways, I thought, I think a couple months ago I made a clam chowder recipe, and I think I definitely posted that on YouTube. And I'd like to make another recipe, clam chowder, today. And I think it's a very good one. You know, the first one I made it was okay. You know, it was edible, but it was my first time making it, so I kind of got it. I think I got the recipe online, and I kind of went with that. But I can't take credit for this one I'm making because I got it from America's Test Kitchen. And if you want to get that recipe yourself, you can go right on YouTube and get that from America's Test Kitchen. They got a lot of different recipes on there, a lot of different ways to cook it. It's an awesome channel. They're usually on PBS if you ever want to go on, you know, on television and watch it. Usually on a Saturday, but depending on what area you're in and what time it's on, it could be during the week for all I know in other parts of the country. I do not know. But anyways, this is a New England clam chowder. It's a recipe that comes from Woodman's, and that's a clam shack right here in Essex, Massachusetts. And it's a very, very simple recipe. So, like I said, I can't take credit for it, but what I can do is I can show you how I make it, and maybe you can make it yourself. I think you would definitely not be disappointed in it. It's like, it is the best yet I've made, and I won't make it any other way from now on. So, come with me to the kitchen, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to put in it and how long it's going to take. All right. Now, Woodman's is a clam shack. They have access to fresh clams, and so do I, but I'm not for demonstration purposes so everyone can make this throughout the country, because not everybody has access to fresh clams. Here on the coast, we all do, but I'm going to show you the way I make it and how you can make it so everyone can make it. You'll need about 1.75 pounds of potatoes. If you go a little bit over, don't worry about it. Kind of a lot of potatoes in it. You need 1 medium-sized onion, usually about 3/4 to a cup or a cup. You'll need 2 cans of 6.5 ounces of chopped, not minced, chopped clams. And you'll need 2 cans of 10, I think this is 10, yeah, 10 ounces of baby clams. You're also going to need light cream. If you cannot find light cream, because I know sometimes it's not available in everyone's area, you can use a 1 cup of heavy cream and cut it down with 1 cup of water. But if you can find this will be the best. So let's get to it. I will show you. It's a very simple recipe. As you can see, there's no carrots in it, no celery like I did last time. All you basically have is potatoes, onions, clams, and more clams, and cream. Very simple. And I'll show you exactly how I'm going to prepare it, because this is a way that you may not have ever seen. So it's interesting. If you make this is prepared to make it. It's going to take you most of the afternoon to do it, because there's a little bit of prep. It may not look like, but it's a little bit of prep involved, and I'm going to show you and explain why. Okay, I got my potatoes all peeled. I got roughly 2 pounds here. I mean, it calls for 1.75 pounds, but you know something? I went over a little bit. No, not a big deal. Now I'm going to cut my onions. Bring it a little closer. There we go, good. I had these onions from last time. Now, I'm not sure if it's enough. It may or may not. I have another onion just in case. I'm going to cut it up, and then I'm going to see what we got here. You cut these onions up, you want to be very particular about it. I'm going to cut these things up really fine. You know something? Hold on a second. I need a bigger cutting board. There we go. Got it. Much better. Much better. This should be enough onion, but if it's not, I'll cut another half of an onion, because I've got one just in case I needed it. I wasn't sure if I had enough. I had just enough potatoes. I had 2 small extras, and I wasn't going to peel them because it'll be a little bit too much on the potatoes. I definitely got enough of them, but. I'll be back in a minute, because I don't think you want to see me chopping the onion up here. So I'll be back in a minute. All right. I basically got my onion cut, but I'm not finished. When you chop your onion up, you know something? Don't just chop it and say that's good enough. Really chop them up fine, you know? This may take a couple of minutes to do. You really want to put some love into it. I'm telling you, the extra effort is worth it. You're really going to want to cut these things up fine. Now, I suppose you could buy frozen onions that are already pre-cut like this that are fine, but you know something? Nothing beats fresh. Onions are not a lot of money. You can use any yellow onion. I prefer, if you can find them, not only if you can find them, Vidalia onion. I like to use a Vidalia onion. And that's what's in this. It's a Vidalia onion. If I can see that correctly enough. So I'm going to spend a couple of minutes here cutting up the onion. And I think this is one of the most important parts to putting this thing together. Now, the recipe calls for the baby clams being the star of the show, but I personally think it's the onions, because if you cut them up really nice and fine, and I'm talking crazy fine. I mean, you can spend quite a few minutes doing this. It's going to take me a little while to do this. So, let me shut the camera off and then I'll come back to show you when I'm done with it, because this definitely takes time. Remember, go through some of them. You see some bad parts in there, just take them out. But remember, use fresh. Get a fresh onion and definitely put some love into it. All right, now that my onions are cut, by the way, this is kind of the consistency that you want right here. Look at that. Very finely chopped. That's kind of what you're looking for. So that's about 3/4 of a cup. I mean, that's definitely plenty of it. Potatoes, you're gonna, by the way, you'll want to use russet potatoes in this, if you can find them. If not, I guess any potato would do. Russets tend to be a little bit more on the hard side, so that's kind of what the recipe calls for, but I'm sure you can use any type of them. So I'm just basically making cubes out of these things now. I'm just basically cutting them. Put these off to the side. Maybe cutting them. Kind of what you're looking for. You can cut them a little bit more if you want. I don't want them too big. Yeah, this is about the good size. I'm gonna, something. I'm just gonna put them in the bowl here. Move this aside. I'll be back. All right, I got my potatoes cut. What you're going to do next is take cold water and cover these potatoes about 1 inch. Okay, now I need a little bit more water. They're not big enough. Sorry about the pause there. So you want to cover these about 1 inch. I'm almost there. Maybe a little bit more water. I don't have a big enough measuring cup, so that's probably what you want. Okay. Now I'll be right back. Right now you'll want to cook these potatoes to a boil over high heat. You're not going to cook them all the way through. So once the water starts boiling, probably within 5 to 7 minutes, you want to test them. Yeah, once it starts boiling, I'm going to turn the heat down to a medium flame. Then probably cook them for another 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'm going to test them. Okay. Well, it seems that I'm up to about a boil now, and what I'm going to do now is, it's on high. There we go. It's up to a boil now. So you'll have to wait to gets to a boil, and I'm going to turn down to medium high. There we go. That's about right. All right. Now I just turned it on, and I'm going to cook it for another 3 minutes. So that'll cook for another 3 minutes, and I'll show you what to do next. There we go. I turned it down a little bit more. Anyway, that's good. Okay. I'll be back in 3 minutes. All right, 3 minutes are up. 3 minutes are up. we're going to test one of the potatoes. Okay. If I can get one. You want to take a paring knife and you'll want to stick it through. Now it's not cooked all the way through, so there should be a little bit of resistance in the potato. So you're not cooking them all the way through. Actually, shut it off. I'll show you the next thing I'm going to do. So the next thing you want to do is drain the potatoes. I should take the glasses off. Okay, good. I hope they're not cooked too much. I'm pretty sure they're cooked just right. Okay. That's kind of what you want to do. Okay. Drain them really well. Water. Yeah, these are perfectly cooked. They're not cooked all the way through. All right, the next step was to let them sit for about 30 minutes. You want those potatoes to cool down completely. So about 30 minutes, I'll be back in 30 minutes and I'll show you exactly what to do next. Okay, now that 30 minutes is up, I'm going to add 2 6.5 ounces of chopped clams. Let's put the broth. Don't worry, my hands are clean. Forgot to get a spoon, so I'm going to use my finger. Like I said, my hands are clean. Okay. 1 teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of ground pepper. You want to pour it in there. You don't want to drop the whole thing in there like I just did. I'll get all the clams out of there since I got this thing now. Okay. Remember, I'm using canned clams and not fresh. I could definitely use fresh, but I'm not going to, only because some people cannot get their hands on them. And this is basically a recipe for anyone to make it so it can be affordable and be quite good. So what I'm doing now is I'm mixing everything up. I'm mixing the potatoes and the chopped clams, the pepper and the salt, mixing that up really nice. So if you were to go, if you go to YouTube and if you were to see this recipe on America's Test Kitchen, the next step would be is to put this. You'll need 2 people to do it. Put this in like a gallon bag, a freezer bag, and put it in the refrigerator for 1 hour. But I'm not going to do that because I'm by myself. I'm very lucky enough to have a second refrigerator, and I'm going to put it in there. Why? Because there's some strong smells in there. And guess what? I almost forgot. Add the onion. See, I almost forgot to add that. The most important part. Wow. So, like I said, you want to incorporate the chopped clams, the onion, finely cut onion, teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of ground pepper. Okay, there we go. We'll wash that. I've got a bit of washing to do. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to mix it up good. Yeah, like I said, there's some smells in your refrigerator that you may not want to incorporate with this strong smelling prep that I'm doing. So if you can get somebody to do it, get a gallon bag, or if you can do it yourself, not that easy to do because there's a lot here. But what I'm going to do is, okay, let's get this thing out of here. Okay, good. I'm just going to get some press and seal. See if I can get it out. Of course, when I need it, I can't get it. I got it. I got a second refrigerator down in the garage, and we don't really use it for anything. It's an old refrigerator, but still works. 1 hour. Put this in here for 1 hour. You can actually let it sit for 24 hours before you want. If you really want to let it sit for 24 hours, you can, but 1 hour is sufficient. So I'll be back in 1 hour, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, it's been about an hour, and my infusion is just coming out of the refrigerator with my potatoes, my chopped clams, and my onions. Now you got to remember, this is a cold start chowder, and if you look at most recipes with clam chowder, you don't get a cold prep start. This is something a little different. I told you it was different. So what you're going to get is a large saucepan or any type of pot, and you want to put them in there like that. Okay. Okay, good. Good like that. Okay. I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is take 2 10-ounce cans of baby clams, and I have already strained them. You want to strain them, and you want to get at least a cup of the brine. That's what you want to get. If you don't have quite a cup, you will get it. If you don't, for some reason, just add a little water to it and you'll be fine. So I'm going to put these aside for now, and I'm going to add the brine to the potato mixture and the clams and the onions. Now you're going to put a 1.5 tablespoons of salt. You know what you're thinking, salt, salt, salt. It's really not too much. It's going to break down anyways. This is what the recipe calls for, but if I had my way, I don't think I'd put any salt. Would maybe just a little bit, but so you add a little bit more salt to it. Okay, now we're going to go over to the oven, stove top, I should say. All right, now that I have the brine in there, I am going to bring this up to a bare simmer, barely. Going to try to put it to a medium heat. Now it's going to slow cook about 10 minutes. When you just starting to see bubbles along the edge of it, you'll know it's done. And then I'll show you the next step. But this is what we're going to do now. That's the next step. I'm going to time it to 10 minutes. It should take about 10 minutes. Okay. All right. Now, it's pretty important that you keep the heat not high, not too low, but try to judge it in the middle towards a medium high. More or less on the low medium on the gas or electric, whatever one you got. This is all about slow cooking it, so you won't overcook the clams, so they won't be rubbery. So that's what it's all about, and you're basically cooking the rest of the potatoes. Oh, here we go. You can't turn it up any higher. It's not suggested to turn this thing up any higher because you're not going to cook them any faster, but this is what it calls for. It's a slow simmer heat to cook the potatoes through and to make sure the clams are not turned into a little oasis. I'm sure everyone has had that type of clam chowder before. I know I have many times. So I'll be back in about 10 minutes. You should start seeing bubbles around the, should be starting little bubbles around the edge here. Just to show you, I just raised the tripod just to show you what to look for. But I'll come back and I'll show you little bubbles, and you should be done by then. But in the meantime, every once in a while, just stir it so nothing sticks to the bottom of it. It should be totally okay. I've never had that issue with it sticking. I think maybe some people do, but just in case, every once in a while, just give it a quick stir. So I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Okay. I definitely see bubbles. See the bubbles around the edges? That's what you're looking for. Okay. Now I'm going to turn the heat down to almost a medium low for another 3 minutes. I'm going to time it. Here we go. All right, an additional 3 minutes just to make sure those potatoes are cooked all the way through. Hopefully they will be. I made this chowder twice already, and I know I didn't make a video on it. This is my first video on the revised chowder, clam chowder that I'm making, and it came out amazing, way better than the first batch I ever made when I first made that video. That's why I wanted to make this second video. So, to give you people out there a chance to cook this at home. You definitely will not be disappointed. I made this for a lot of people, and every one of them could not believe what this thing tastes like. It smells amazing. I wish you could smell it right now. It smells amazing, and it's not even done yet. So an additional 3 minutes. I'll be right back. Be back when the time ends, probably in about 2 minutes. Okay. I'm going to add the baby clams. That's one thing I forgot to add to the additional 3 minutes. Put it aside. So I am adding the clams for the additional, about 2 minutes left. Okay. Incorporate that in there. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Put that down. Wait until the timer's up. All right, next step. You're going to add about two cups of light cream. Now, like I said, if you can't find light cream, you're going to probably have to go with 1.5 cups of heavy cream. And I know I said water before, but that's not right. 1.5 cups of heavy cream and maybe 1/2 cup of whole milk. That's if you cannot find the light cream. So I'm going to add that in. Remember, light cream. Should be able to find it. Okay. Stir that in. Turn up the heat a little bit, like a medium, until the potatoes are fully cooked. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to take it off the heat totally. I'm going to shut it off. Now we're quite not done yet. I'm going to add two tablespoons of unsalted butter. And I'm going to let it incorporate in there and melt. It'll add a little bit of richness to it. Now there's an optional instant mashed potato flakes. Now, I know what you're saying. There's potato already in here. Of course there is. And this is totally optional. I do it every time. I suggest that you do it. If you want, if you don't, you can skip this step, but I like it. Gonna add it in. It'll thicken it just a tiny bit. You gotta remember, this is not your regular clam chowder that you get in a lot of these restaurants that are really, really thick. I'll put this chowder up against any restaurant any day. And so let it incorporate in there. Well, this is starting to look like soup. No question about it. Oh, that's hot. All right, let's get this thing out of here. Okay. Mixing it up. Oh my goodness. You have to make this. If you don't follow my recipe, you can go on the website, America's Test Kitchen, Cooks County. They've got this. This is exactly what it's like. This is the exact recipe. Oh my goodness. All right, we're done with that. Okay, put that there. Okay. Guess what? It's time to taste this. I mean, look at all those clams. Seriously. I'm gonna taste just a little bit of it. Oh my God. Wow. Amazing. Hot. You gotta be, my God, it is absolute heaven. Wow. Unbelievable. It is so good. Okay. And grab it another spoon. Don't worry, it's clean. It's another spoon, it's not the same spoon. It's so hot. Look at that. Oh my God. Amazing. Oh my God. Absolutely amazing. Amazing! I've given this to friends and they've had clam chowder. We've met them, gone out with friends before to like a restaurant or something. I've given my version, then they had the restaurant's version and they're like saying, my goodness, he goes, yours is miles ahead of this one. So it's complete. All right, let's go to the table. I'm going to bring over the table. I'm going to put this on the table and I'm going to start scooping it into containers. Okay. I bought these containers from Amazon. I should have bought the smaller ones. These are the much bigger ones. I don't exactly know what size these are. These may be the 12 ounce. I'm not 100% sure, but I should have bought the smaller ones. So, oh, look at this. Look at this goodness. Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta bring this closer to you. Here we go. I mean, look at that. Will you look at that? My God. That is true New England clam chowder, even though it's canned. I'm going to someday make this with the fresh clams because they are available in my area, no problem. But this is for people that don't have access to fresh clams. Okay, let me bring it back over here. So this is kind of what I usually do. Instead of keeping it in the pot, this doesn't last. This won't last. This will not last 2 days. Not even that. I'm going to end up giving my 2 sons. They'll eat it. My son's wife will eat it. I'll have some. And I usually just have one of these because I give them away to people all the time. Okay, I'm making a little bit of a mess here, but that's why I got the cloth here. Okay. It's just enough for me. I don't want to eat a lot of this, even though I can eat it every day, but that's my son and his wife's. He's downstairs right now. He's been a while. Okay. Perfect. All right. You know, I'll be back in a bit. I'm gonna finish. Doing this over here, putting them in the containers. And this definitely will be my dinner tonight. Just add some crackers to it. I'm sitting down having some right now. Doesn't get any better than this. It's my dinner for tonight. It's a little after 6. Well, almost 6. My goodness. Gotta add the oyster crackers. You cannot get this. You can't get this in many places. You can get stuff like this at the clam shacks in Ipswich, Mass. There's a lot of them there. Or up in Essex. I wish you could taste this. Absolutely unbelievable. I personally think I put a little bit too much pepper in it, but you know something? It kind of makes, I would have to say, it kind of makes it. Wow. Well, I don't want to be rude, but I won't eat anymore. I'll have it in a minute, but yeah, I just thought I'd take you to the table and actually see me eating it, and it's, oh my God, I love it. I already gave my son him and his wife some downstairs in my house here. Yeah, this is amazing. So that's it. If you want to make this yourself, you can. I highly recommend it. I'll be back to say goodbye in a few minutes. So let me finish this first, and then I'll meet you on the couch. So I hope you enjoyed today's video on a revised version of my clam chowder. It's pretty damn close to Woodman's. So I'm very happy the way it came out. It's been coming out the exact same way every time I make it. I know there are soups and chowders and recipes out there that every time you make them they're a little bit different. So I've made this like maybe 5-6 times already since I started making it this way, and it's come out exactly the same way, and it'll be gone tonight. I mean, it's all spoken for. I just I put them all in the containers, and I'll be giving them out. One for me, one for my son. I think there's one left. Maybe I'll give it to somebody at work, so I know they like chowder. So we'll see if it lasts that long. So thanks for joining me today, and hopefully I'll be at the cabin for the next couple weeks, and maybe I can have a little bit of content for you. So everyone, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.